What's up guys, it's Territorials with another tutorial on how to set up a static IP. Now, before I start the video, I have to mention a few things. Now, I already set up a static IP, so I've already done everything, so that's the bummer. My parents don't want me doing risky things that could ruin our internet, so because I already made that mistake once. But maybe you're here because you play Minecraft and you want to be able to have the server stay up and play with friends and don't have to worry about your IP changing. And that's exactly what a static IP does. It's allows your computer to run on one IP instead of like it changing all the time. So that's the cool thing about static IP. Now, notice when you set up a static IP, you have to realize that if you leave your router, your IP will change. And I don't really know why that happens. I guess just because if your IP is close to that, or at least the default gateway, if that changes, your IP will change, I believe. Because I usually go to Canada, and I'm in Michigan, so of course, the gateways are going to be different, and yeah, it changed. So that was a bummer, and I had to set it up all again. But trust me, it does not take that long. So if you're Windows 8, well, just get to your control panel. For Windows 8, you can just go up into the top right corner, go to search, and go to control panel. And you don't even have to type that much. You just can do control, and then here's a control panel. But I already have it open anyways. So if you're Windows 7, however, you can open up the start button, and your control panel should be like right there. If it's not, just search in control panel, or I wonder if there's run. I wonder if you can search that on run. But anyways, however you get to your control panel, just go there, and you should have like all control panel items. If not, you should probably just have this. Either way, it's going to be here. Do a network and internet. Go to network and sharing. Alright, and this should be where your networks are. And yeah, I'm right here. So you're going to go to change adapter settings, and then after that you'll see 3, do Wi-Fi or whatever you usually connect to, and right click it, go to properties, and go to Internet Protocol version 4 or IPv4 address, and it should be at the bottom. If not, just kind of scroll down until you find it, and then go to properties. Now this, you should already have like obtain an IP address automatically filled in, and obtain DNS server address automatically filled in. So this is where it gets really tricky. Well, really, probably the hardest part of it. You have to find your IP address, your subnet mask, and your default gateway. Now, to find these, it's very simple. Open up command prompt. If you don't know how to get there, go to search, CMD, command prompt, or if you're Windows 7, just type in run in the search bar when you open up the start button, and type in run CMD, and that will open up command prompt. Next, you want to type in ipconfig. That will give you pretty much all your IPs, just the configuration for your IPs, whatever, and it should. Now, what you want to look under, because you'll be like, well, there's a whole bunch of numbers and it says IP4 address, some random crap. Do not type this kind of IP. This is not the right one. This is for Ethernet. Look for wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi. This should be like the first one, wireless whatever, and or the first adapter information for your IP. So the IPv4 address is actually your IP address. But I do have to say a few things. Now, if you want a certain IP to be the IP you want, make sure you type that in. Do not type in the one you see now. And that is only because, like, well, if you're okay, this makes more sense. If you set up a server and your IP was different from the time that you set up the server, then you will need to know what IP address that is, because that's the IP you want to run your server on. And, well, not really run your server on. Well, other people connect to the MAC address, but this is the one where you'll be able to send, or send the server data or whatever to the router to other people. Now, once you find that, the IP address, this will automatically be filled in. Everybody's is different. Your default gateway should be like 1.1 or 2.1 or something like that. Everybody's is different. Most of them are the same, but it's right here, default gateway, 192.168.1.1 for me, and if you don't know your subnet mask or it didn't show up for some reason, here it is. Or, your screen, obviously. But, don't copy any of mine because you'll get it wrong. Make sure, double check, like triple check, to make sure your default gateway is right. Because if it is wrong, well, there's multiple gateways, okay? There's multiple default gateways, and if one of them is different, you won't be able to connect with that because the signal is off. It's not the same, and it won't be able to pick it up. So make sure that is the same always, and make sure that the gateway that you use for the server is correct too, because you'll need that. But if not, I would just report forward it. If the default gateway is somehow wrong, maybe you moved after you set up the server and you want to set up a static IP also, so just make sure that's correct. Definitely make sure that's correct, because that is very important. That can mess up your internet connection if you get that wrong. So after you're done, you really don't need any of this anymore. Next, you want to go ahead and go to your internet. Now, Windows 8, I've tried this and it does not work, unfortunately. Usually you just go to your Windows 8 and you type in your default gateway, and look at that. It just goes to a Bing search, which it doesn't. I mean, you could click on this, but it wouldn't send you anywhere. So always use your desktop internet. I don't know if it's like only the Internet Explorer, or it works with Torch or Google Chrome, for example. So let's just so anyways, once done that, you just type in your default gateway. Again, you can just go to command prompt if you do not know where to go. Just type in your IP, that's all you need, and then it will come up with a username and password that you have to click in. So unless you change your password, which I did, you would have to enter well, obviously the default username and password is admin, and the default is like password, but I changed mine so it's much longer. But I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I'm like that now. So once you get here, this is your router, so don't mess with anything here unless you absolutely know what you're doing. So under setup, go to basic settings and ignore this. You're probably like, oh, well, this is wrong. This isn't my computer IP. What the heck? I gotta change that. No, do not mess with this. Do not use static IP address. Do not use, whatever. Get automatically and get dynamically. Because if you, unless you have those settings already, if this is how it was, leave it. because it's very important, because it will screw up your internet and you will be sorry. This is not your computer. This is the router, not your computer. Just remember that. So this is where your DNS comes in. Just type in the following letters on your DNS server. Again, it's fine. This is like where your router comes in. Like the DNS is involved with the router, so the DNS should be the same as your computer's DNS, because your server. This is a network. Get the picture. All right. So when you click OK, it should give you this. If not, then you're fine. You're good. Done. I would definitely validate settings upon exit, though I didn't, because just click on yes unless you're not sure. Recheck everything before you go ahead and click yes, because if you have something wrong, I've did this before, but I've done something wrong and it shut down my internet, and like my own signal to the router. So I could not connect with the router, and it was just like, what? So that's no problem with that. So otherwise, go ahead and click yes, and it will save your settings, and you now have a static IP address. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on my next tutorial or video. So as you see, it will never change so long as you never leave the house or the router. But otherwise, you should be able to connect fine. Server. Well, I can't really show you because that'd be really stupid of me. But I can't really show you because I mean it could be any IP. I could have just set up a server now and lied to you, but I didn't, and but I would just tell you that it will be different, and try to make it in under 10 minutes. Sorry about that, but anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it, because I love them making videos for you guys. So anyways, guys, we'll see you later, and see you next video, and hope you have fun with those servers. Bye.